In this week's Parshat Acharei Mot, we read of all of the laws pertaining to Yom Kippur, to the holiest day of the year, and all of the service of the high priest in the temple on that unique, very special day of the year. One of the most important services that takes place on Yom Kippur is the two goats, that one goat is sanctified to be sacrificed to Hashem in the temple. And the other goat is put aside to be a scapegoat and to be taken to an erek zera, to a cliff, and thrown off the cliff. And then in this way it atones for all of the sins of the Jewish people. This is actually one of the most amazing and deep Kabbalistic portions in the whole Torah. The scapegoat, the Sa'ir la Azazel. Initially, the high priest takes two goats that are equal in every respect, impossible to differentiate, to distinguish between them. And he gives on one, he places on one a lot. He doesn't know which lot he's placing on the head of each of the two goats. And one lot says La Hashem for Hashem, and the other lot says La Azazel. This very special, unique word, Azazel, appears only in this context. There's no other place in the Torah or in the whole Bible that this word appears, Azazel. In this context, actually, the word appears 4 different times. But only here. What does the word mean? So, in most English translations of the Bible, the translation of Azazel is scapegoat, the very word that we just used. In Chazal, it appears that it means the place, that cliff in the desert that the goat was thrown over in order to atone for the sins. There are some commentaries that say that Azazel, it actually begins with the word ez. The word here for goat in this context is sa'ir. But the word Azazel begins with ez, ayin zayin, which is another synonym for goat. And the other 3 letters of Azazel is a goat, and Azal means to go, that the goat goes. So it alludes to the goat going, to the scapegoat going and walking and being taken by a person, a certain individual. He is set aside for this responsibility to take the scapegoat to the mountain to be thrown over the cliff. Some say that the ez, the goat, in the word Azazel itself actually refers to the Satan, to Satan. And the word to go means that this is the one day of the year that Satan goes away, that he's not here. He's not here as the Yetzer Hara, as the evil inclination to influence us negatively. So there are many, many different readings and interpretations of this word Azazel. But in the Gemara, the sages say that Azazel is an allusion to 2 angels that at the beginning of creation that are recorded or are mentioned at the end of Parashat Breshit in the Torah, 2 angels whose names are Uzzah and Azael, that fell from heaven. And God was teaching them that if you would descend into the material world, this lower world, you would sin. They didn't believe it. They were prosecuting man. And God said that you would be worse in sinning than man if you would descend and fall into this world. That's actually what happened. And then they committed adultery. They were the first adulterers with all of the beautiful daughters of man that were at that time present on the earth. It's called the generation of Na'ama Achot Tuval Kain. The last descendant of Cain that is mentioned in the Torah is Na'ama, a woman. And the whole generation is called her generation of beautiful women. And these fallen angels became the first adulterers. So why do Chazal say that this word, this very unique word Azazel, refers to these two angels? Because it comes to be mechaper al ma'aseh uzav Azazel. That all of Yom Kippur, and especially this service of the scapegoat being thrown all over the cliff, is in order to atone for that ma'aseh, that the deeds of these two fallen angels, Uzav Azazel. Meaning that the primary atonement of Yom Kippur is an atonement for arayot, for sexual perversions and sexual iniquities. And all of the other iniquities are subcategory to the arayot. That is what the sages learn from this word Azazel. That's why it says that on the afternoon of Yom Kippur in Mincha prayer, the Torah reading of the Mincha is just Isurei Arayot. It's all of the forbidden sexual relationships, because that is the essence of Yom Kippur. These two angels are alluded to in the words Hanephilim Hayu Ba'aretz, which means that the fallen angels were in that time. This is at the end of Parshat Acharei. The fallen angels were in the earth. Hanephilim Hayu Ba'aretz. One of the commentaries explains that the final letters of that phrase, Hanephilim Hayu Ba'aretz, is Tzom. Tzom is fast, which is an allusion, a very, very beautiful allusion to the fast, the one fast day of the Torah, which is Yom Kippur, Yom HaTzom, Tzom Kippur. So the fast day of Yom Kippur and fasting in general is the essential rectification. It's called Tikkun HaBrit, the Tikkun of these two angels. Now, obviously, these two angels, since Chazal are making such a big point of these two angels, it must mean that these two angels are in us. It's not just some two angels that fell from the heaven, but we have in ourselves. This is the lust. This is sexual lust. That's what these two angels represent, and this is the essential kapara, atonement of Yom Kippur, the tikkun for Maaseh Uzav Azazel. How do I know, or what is a hint and allusion that the deed, this is the expression Maaseh Uzav Azazel, is all inclusive of all of the mitzvot of the Torah and all of the iniquities of the Torah? If we calculate the gematria of Maaseh Uzav Azazel, it comes out to be equal to 613. 613 is the number of all of the commandments of the Torah. I mean, there's some all-inclusive meaning of Maaseh Uzav Azazel that includes all of the Taryag mitzvot of the Torah. And the tikkun, the rectification, is through fast. Now, fast has many implications to it and many meanings to it. As far as sexual abuse or sexual perversion, that's the basic point that is now being emphasized by Chazal in relation to Yom Kippur. So in a different place, the sages teach us that in order to rectify one's sexual lust, one has to fast. That the fast of Yom Kippur is not just fasting one day. Fast means that a person has to fast in relation to overuse of his sexual urge. And if he will fast properly, if he will learn how to fast, that will rectify. First of all, he will be satiated. If he tries to be satiated, he'll be hungry. But if he fasts, then he'll be satiated. That's what Chazal say. So it's very significant, once more, this allusion that Hanephilim Hayu Ba'aretz, the final word, the final letters of those three words that the fallen angels were at that time in the earth, spell the word Tzom, which is an allusion to Yom Kippur. All of the holidays of the year, just like all of the energies, the spiritual energies, like these two angels, we said that we have it inside of us. Certainly all of the holidays of the year we also have inside of us, and they're all the time there, especially this week, which is not Yom Kippur, does not fall this week, but this is the week that we learn about Yom Kippur. So definitely Yom Kippur is now, and Yom Kippur is always, and Yom Kippur is the rectification of Maaseh Uzav Azazel.